Riders. Fremantle by 43 did it pretty easily over Essendon earlier today. They face a crucial 3-week stretch, King, and we spoke about this over the past couple of weeks ago. Richmond, West Coast and Carlton, they need wins on the board over the next few weeks.
Fremantle?
The Bombers.
How many of those three?
They definitely need to be competitive in all three. I think they need to be
in all three.
They need to be winning 2 of the 3, I would have thought. But how are you reading the Bombers?
Well, I don't see it. I know the coach said everyone can see what we're doing. I don't see it. This to me just looks haphazard and under 12s footy at times. They all charge at the ball. Fremantle hold width. We've shown this. Simo showed some great vision on 360, I think it was 2 weeks ago, with Frederick. But they all do it. They all run their lanes. And this happened. This is all first quarter vision. This happened for 70 minutes. And until I think Fremantle said, OK, let's put a few things away. What's that? What sort of defensive model is this? Just rolling to the back. It's easy to track to the back. But as soon as they used their lanes and shifted the ball, it was game over. So the punishment was really high. Look at this. From clearance, gone. See you later. What's the worst result you can have from clearance? Shoulders out, centre square, coming forward. So they won 7 clearances, scored 5 times. We've shown this before. So we half forward, half back. So what are you doing? What's Kyle Langford doing here? What's his instruction here? So he's rolling up to assist. Who's he guarding? You can't get caught in the junk against good teams like this. And look what they own. Look where Freo are. All on the outside. So they're half squeezing you, herding you in, and as soon as they get one out wide, then the damage comes. This is a good side. This is a really organised team. And they were incredibly damaging, as I said, off clearance. Not as much off turnover. But every time they took it from traffic, it left all the Bombers on the inside. So what's their plan? What's their defensive mechanics to assist the back 6? Look at this. In a heartbeat, we see the same thing. You can just pause your screen whenever the ball went into a situation that was a contest. Same here. They're all one-on-one. Fast forward 3 seconds, and you end up with this. You end up with all of Essendon inside, all of Fremantle outside. Freo going to the right. Look how many are out the front. And they're gone. They're done. They've got 8 blokes in you can throw a blanket over them. And Murphy Reid needs to be better than that. He needs to find a handball, keep that chain going, because he'll get burnt in weeks going forward in big games. So you've got to make sure you share the love. I'll be showing that boy that clip. But then they're going nowhere near the good teams playing like that.
This is the month ahead for the Bombers. It'd be interesting sitting next to Andrew Welsh, the president of the Essendon Football Club, because this will be a significant period. Brad's got contracted, of course, for another year. What about the Dockers? Because they came to Melbourne and they won again. Yeah,
it was 30% harder, they tell me, to win it from Western Australia, so you've got to be 30% smarter. I love what they did with resting in the last quarter. Sarong and Jackson really took some time off the clock from them. And so those 2 guys, 72% game time, 68% game time, lowest for years for both of them. So that to me says, OK, they're invested in the long game as well as winning today.
Certainly are. It was West Coast tonight over GWS, who are really struggling. Impressive performance from the Eagles, King.
Yeah, best defensive game they've had for some time. So I had a look back at their pressure numbers. I think since since the premiership of 2018, they've only had 4 games with higher percentage they had today. That's amazing. They were on early, weren't they?
The intent was there.
Yeah.
And everything comes off the back of it.
You don't have to be as talented as every team if you play like this. You can win with less talent with this sort of effort and application. And I think most West Coast fans would think, you know what, we might not be able to win today, but I hope they give us a show, something to be proud of. Well, you'd be proud of this. Yeah. Their effort was supreme.
Yep, they were brilliant. And credit to Andrew McQualter. I thought he coached terrific. The match-up with Murdoch to go to Whitfield, the way that he had the group playing. I know that there's a lot of noise after the Richmond loss, but their progression doesn't have to be linear. They are going to have some big blips. And to win 3 games now after 10 rounds, and these sort of efforts, the big man, it was one of his best games, Bailey Williams. But it started earlier in the game by some contests like that. And they just dug in. They are still clearly the youngest group in the competition week on week that they are producing and playing with. But effort doesn't, there's no discrimination with age with the effort that they're showing.
So it gave them plus 22 points on turnover. Now, again, that's in their top 10 results for the last 170 games since the premiership. So some good signs for the coach and some good signs for the fans to say, you know what, let's get back on board this guy, because it was getting a bit wobbly there. The fans were turning a little bit. They just need morsels of evidence, and when you can do it for 3 of the 4 quarters like they did today, everyone wins.
It's on track, and their main man was unbelievable today. Let's give Harley Reid his flowers when he deserves it. It was one of the great games of the season. There where his numbers sit for his career, so career highs for all those, second most. It was unbelievable. And his last 3 to 4 weeks, he's now jumped into the top, on the ratings, top 20 player in the competition. Ooh. He's having a huge influence. He's maturing, and he's leading from the front. And the rest of the group, and that's what you need when you have a rebuilding club, for the other boys to jump on his back and come with him, and they are slowly doing that. There's still going to be big hurdles, but they're getting there.
Need the torchbearer.
That's exactly
He's
right.
The man.
It was the Blues over the Dogs on Saturday night. How much change did you see in Carlton, Joey? Was it much the same, or did you see any more adventure?
Great, the Carlton won. That's all they needed to do, get the 4 points. But from a bigger picture perspective, I didn't see much change at all. They've been competitive in most games. They've had some good quarters. The difference was their good quarter was when it mattered. It was the last quarter as opposed to the first or second quarter. But at three-quarter time, you couldn't sit there and say, gee, this looks different. It looked exactly like we'd seen, still playing the same plays in the same roles and playing a similar game style that really wasn't exciting at all, other than their contest and clearance game. So I hope it continues to evolve under Josh Fraser. We'll give him that because they got the win and that's all that mattered. But I still want to see more evolution as the year goes on.
And he went crazy, Cripps, didn't he? Oh. That last quarter was just unbelievable. And I think people throw him in the same discussion as their form as a team. He's still doing what he does at stoppage. And if the ruckman can get it somewhere near him, it's game over. Now, we haven't seen necessarily the charge out of traffic as much this year as in years gone by. But when he's on, it's a different game. Now, it also, let's look at the flip side of this discussion as well. They humbled the Dogs midfield. And there's some big names in there.
It's a whipping.
Some big names that have gone missing. You know, Bontempelli's been, as you said yesterday, on one leg and has been unbelievable the last couple of weeks. He wasn't at his best last night. Sanders, I think, is really making a name for himself. But there's a couple of lost dogs in that midfield. I just wonder whether, for the sake of Luke Beveridge, does he need to put Ed Richards back? Because it's Dale or bust off half-back, and they don't have the quality down there. The ball users absolutely are really battling. Their scoring has plummeted. 70 points on average since round 5, which is second last in the competition. So you've got to do something. What are they doing with Fraser? What's happened to him? So I don't know what they do. We don't have the answers, but there are a lot of problems.
It's a great shout because, as you said, Riley Sanders, tick, he's improved. Bontempelli's playing at elite level. But when you take a look at the other core group for the Western Bulldogs, none of them have improved on last year in regards to their ratings. And I think Luke Beveridge, it's on him to try and find a way to rejuvenate them with like, what role is Joel Fraser playing? It's still that half-forward role that comes in the stoppage. He can't find his groove. So there are the dips from last season to this season in regards to their player ratings. A lot of the keys. Riley West was sensational. He was almost in All-Australian sort of squad calculations as a small forward. Not the same this year. So I think now's the time for Bevo just to do what he's done in the past, flip the magnets and see if he can find another way to revitalise his group.
Can I give you one wild card? Artie Jones on the dance floor.
In the middle.
Put him in the middle.
Yep.
It doesn't look conventional, but the best midfielders at the moment haven't looked conventional when you first... Put him in, close your eyes a couple of times and see how... Never been in at a centre bounce. So throw him in. Let's have a look.
He had some moments. It's been Bontempelli a bust over the past month. Yep. He's papered over some of those cracks, the skipper. They've got some work to do. That's numbers that matter thanks to Workday.